There is a golden trophy. Billions of people recognize it instantly. It has been photographed more times than almost any object on Earth, and almost nobody is allowed to touch it. Not journalists, not retired legends, not the coach who just won it with his country, not even the president of Argentina. This is the story of why. Let's start with what it actually is. The FIFA World Cup Trophy, the one you see today, the one Messi lifted in 2022, was designed by an Italian sculptor named Silvio Gazzaniga. His design was chosen from 53 submissions sent in from 7 different countries. That was in 1971. The trophy depicts 2 human figures holding up the earth, symbolizing, as Gazzaniga described it, the exact moment of victory, the stirring moment when an athlete rises above everyone else on the planet. It is made of 18-karat gold. It weighs 6 kilograms, and its estimated value as a historical artifact is over $20 million. Here's the first thing most people don't know. When a country wins the World Cup, they don't actually keep it. The winning captain lifts the real trophy on the pitch. The players hold it. They cry with it, kiss it, carry it around the stadium. That moment is real. Then FIFA takes it back. What the winning nation receives is a gold-plated replica, a copy. The original returns to a vault in Zurich, Switzerland, under 24-hour armed security until the next ceremony needs it. Argentina won in 2022. Argentina does not own the trophy. Nobody does. FIFA does. And FIFA is not letting go. The question is, why are they this protective? To understand that, you have to go back. The original World Cup trophy was called the Jules Rimet Trophy, named after the FIFA president who first created the tournament in 1930. In March 1966, 4 months before England was supposed to host the World Cup, the Jules Rimet Trophy was on public display at Westminster Central Hall in London. It was behind glass. 6 guards were assigned to protect it. On a Sunday morning, while the hall was being prepared for Methodist church services, someone walked in, removed the screws from the back of the display case, popped the padlock, and walked out with the most famous trophy in football history. None of the guards saw anything. England panicked. Scotland Yard launched a nationwide investigation. A ransom note arrived, demanding £15,000. The Football Association chairman received it personally. They refused to pay. 7 days later, a dog found it. A mongrel collie named Pickles was sniffing under a car in Beulah Hill, South London, when he found the trophy wrapped in newspaper and buried in the mud. Pickles became the most famous dog in England overnight. He received a silver medal from the National Canine Defence League, a lifetime supply of dog food, and an invitation to the England team's victory banquet that summer, after England went on to win the tournament on home soil. The trophy was recovered. Crisis over. Or so everyone thought. 17 years later, it happened again. By 1970, Brazil had won the World Cup 3 times. Under the original rules Jules Rimet himself had written, win it 3 times, and you keep it permanently, forever, as a nation. So Brazil took the trophy home to Rio de Janeiro. It was placed in a bulletproof glass display case inside the headquarters of the Brazilian Football Confederation, considered completely safe. The director of the Confederation had actually mocked England after the 1966 theft, saying, and this is a direct quote, "It would never have happened in Brazil. Even Brazilian thieves love football and would never commit this sacrilege." In December 1983, 2 men entered the building at night. They tied up the security guard and walked out with the Jules Rimet trophy. It has never been found. The leading theory is that it was melted down into gold bars. Although there's a problem with that theory. The trophy wasn't solid gold. It was gold-plated sterling silver. You couldn't actually melt it into gold bars, which means its fate is still technically unknown. Somewhere, possibly, the original Jules Rimet trophy still exists. In pieces, or intact, or dissolved into nothing, nobody knows. FIFA's response was immediate. They commissioned the new trophy, the Gazzaniga design. And this time, they built an entirely different set of rules around it. Rules that are still in force today. The current FIFA World Cup trophy can only be touched with bare hands by 3 categories of people: former world champions, heads of state, and FIFA officials. Everyone else wears gloves, no exceptions. The trophy travels the world for promotional events and draws under what FIFA describes as airtight security protocols. It has a dedicated team of handlers, specific transport procedures, 24-hour armed protection. And when Gianni Infantino brought it to the Oval Office in 2025, when Donald Trump held it up and asked, "Can I keep it?" Infantino's answer was clear: no, Nobody keeps it. Trump qualifies to touch it as head of state of a host nation, but even he couldn't take it home. The 2022 World Cup final in Qatar was arguably the greatest football match ever played. Argentina versus France, extra time, penalties, Messi against Mbappe, a moment that will exist in football history as long as football exists. And in the chaos after the final whistle, a Turkish celebrity chef named Nusret Gökçe, better known as Salt Bae, walked onto the pitch. He posed with Messi, he grabbed the trophy, he lifted it over his head. FIFA opened a formal investigation. Because the rule is not ceremonial, it is enforced, or at least, they try to enforce it. Because 4 months later, at the 2026 World Cup draw in Washington, FIFA's own staff failed to recognize Lionel Scaloni, the coach who had just won Argentina the title. They handed him white gloves. Scaloni looked confused. Argentina's delegation was furious. The moment circulated across social media within hours. Infantino had to come back on stage the next day, apologize publicly, and hand Scaloni the trophy with bare hands, on camera, to fix the embarrassment. The rule designed to protect the trophy's dignity had, briefly, become the source of its biggest public humiliation in years. There's one more layer to this. Beyond the official FIFA rules, there is an unofficial superstition that is spread through football over decades. Players do not touch the trophy before the final, not in the tunnel, not during the ceremony, not during warm-ups. If you haven't won it, you don't touch it. Nobody ordered this. FIFA didn't write it into any rule book, but footballers believe it, and so they follow it. Because the trophy, to the people who have spent their careers trying to reach it, carries a weight that goes beyond gold and silver. It is the thing you've been working toward since you were a child kicking a ball in your backyard, the thing your father's generation missed, the thing your country has been waiting decades for. You don't touch it until you've earned it. And maybe that's the real answer to why the World Cup trophy is never touched. Not because FIFA is paranoid, though they are. Not because it was stolen twice, though it was. But because some things carry so much meaning that treating them carelessly would feel like a betrayal of everyone who ever played for it, bled for it, or cried watching someone else lift it. The rules protect the object. The superstition protects the idea, and the idea is bigger than the gold. When I first read about the 1983 theft, that the Jules Rimet trophy was stolen a second time, from behind bulletproof glass, in a country that had mocked England for losing it, I actually stopped, because that trophy is probably gone forever. The most important object in football history, somewhere in a melting pot or buried in a basement in Rio, and nobody will ever know what actually happened to it. Football has a habit of doing this, of wrapping the most important things in mystery. If you want more stories like this, the facts about football that nobody tells you, subscribe, because there are a lot more where this came from. And drop a comment below. Who do you think wins the 2026 World Cup? And do they deserve to touch it?